Mayor and Council. My name is Bennett Smith, that's S-M-I-T-H, and I'm at 2214 South Lakeview Drive here in Clear Lake. Proud to be from Clear Lake, by the way, grew up here, and thank you for your time. I'd like to comment on the economic development proposal that Mason City has put forward. And basically what I would like to do is express to you my profound concern about many potential negative impacts that this proposal will have, not just on Mason City, but frankly on Clear Lake and the surrounding countryside. I think there are any number of issues that need to be thought out. I think projects like this, for example, in Storm Lake and in Marshalltown have had enormous problems. And I just wanted to express to the council and to the mayor my concerns about this project, and I hope that you'll come forward with your own views, and frankly, I would urge you to oppose it. And I just think it's a very, very big risk to our tourism dollars and to the quality of life that we've created here in Clear Lake. And by the way, I'd like to thank the mayor and this council and everyone here for the work that they've put in over the years to improve our quality of life in Clear Lake and the economic development approach that you all have taken. I think it's important for everyone in Clear Lake to understand that I think you've done a wonderful job, and I want to thank you for that. But I believe this project specifically threatens that in the long term. Now, perhaps not in the short term, but in the long term, I believe it will. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Welcome.
Good evening, everybody, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak. My name is Petersen. I am a farmer 6 miles south of Clear Lake. Lived here all my life. I graduated from Rockwell. The wife graduated from Clear Lake, so we're homebodies. We'll die here too. It's our hometown. So I hope you all seen my letter of concern in the Mayor Reporter, and this is what I'm going to talk about. The packing plant coming to Mason City. Whether a good idea or a bad idea for Mason City, that'll get figured out over there. This is Clear Lake. Clear Lake is special, very special. Needs to be kept that way. And let me say, my personal opinion, a packing plant in this area is not a good fit. If this packing plant locates, some things are going to happen that's going to affect this town. I predict we'll never ever attract another Fortune 500 company to this area. Another thing, there have been millions of dollars invested in this lake to clean it up. This is a good lake. This is a nice area. It's a tourist town. This area, talking water quality, is also the headwaters of some of the major rivers in this state. Everything goes downstream. And that's another major concern. And to emphasize, we got it pretty darn good around here. The quality of life, the enjoyment of property. And let me say, including my grandparents and my dad, they toil. Past generations have toiled to homebodies to make this place a nice place. I don't want to see all that hard work go to waste. So, I believe we need to be proactive and do the math. 20,000 killed per day, 6 days, 2 shifts work week. That's 6.2 million pigs a year. And I'm guessing, being a farmer and knowing the vertical integration in the livestock industry, I'm saying they'll probably be able to scrounge up between 1 million and 2 million pigs from 75 to 100 miles around here. The rest of them are going to have to come from new construction. They won't get pigs from Because all these pigs are promised. You got packing plants surrounding Worthington, Storm Lake, Marshalltown, Dubuque. These pigs gotta come from somewhere. Somewhere's gonna be the bullseye. Clear Lake, Mason City, going out 100-mile radius. And even if these factory farms are huge, 7,500 head per site, which is huge, there's gonna be 666 factory farms. That's the math I come up with. So, is our environment in Clear Lake ready for this? It's not only the factory farm sites, it's the manure. It's gonna be spread right up, I don't care what town it is, Clear Lake, Rockwell, Swellville, whatever. It's legal, they're gonna do it. And so, that's what we're facing here. And the thing that burns me up about this whole thing, this town, the supervisors were left out. This thing was fast-tracked. Speed of light in the dark of night, as they say. So, and the citizens were totally cut out on this whole process too. So, I know, you guys are sitting over here and Mason City's over there, but I think what this town needs to do is at least pass a resolution of concern, non-binding, non-legal. And the reason is the impacts and the future impacts. This packing plant, the decision will impact this area for decades. Quality of life, everything we care about. This is our corner of the world, and I think we need to be heard. So, having said that, I got a nice big CAFO book about factory farms, and it's a good read. I also got
Thank you, Mr. Petersen, your
some
time has
attorney
expired.
stuff. So can I approach the, and drop this off at the front there?
You can leave it with our clerk, Mr. Petersen.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Willis and I live in Fertile now. I own a house on North 3rd Street. I have generations buried in Clear Lake Cemetery. Plus, I love pigs. This is a terrible thing to have here. Really it is. Please support the citizens. I don't know whose idea it was, but it was a really bad one. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Garden City, Kansas? Maybe? Have you, John?
I have.
Yeah, okay, good. That's all I wanted to say. Please support us. We all need this. We need fresh air. We need a future for our children and our grandchildren. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Bob Wolfram from Ventura. A few years ago, about 6, 7 years ago, I ran for sanitary district trustee. And when I ran, I always said I would be the conduit of communication to the people that are making the decisions. Well, I haven't seen a whole lot of communication on this issue. I was one of the very first people that was written about in the Globe Gazette, who was over there talking to the supervisors about this same issue. And I'm sure you all know that there's a couple of them that were quite concerned about it and made remark that was later edited in the newspaper and local news. Very concerned. I saw the look on their face. And one of them said, "This is one of the biggest things that have been on my mind since I was supervisor. It's on my mind all the time." He was concerned. You know what, he's got a lot of courage. So anyway, let's say I have a little investment club. Scott Flory, me, Nelson Crabb. And we brought good fruit. We've invested our monies and brought good fruit. And then along down the road, one of the partners decides to go out and maybe search a little venture that he might think benefits us all. But he leaves me out of the decision, and he leaves Scott out of the decision. what would you guys do with him? What would you do? I know what I'd do. That'd be it. That'd be it, because I could never trust him again. We've got a beautiful thing out here. We've got a Mason City Airport. You know, I'd say bail on them and let's start seeking our own public development. And what I would really like is for you guys to entertain the thought, and tomorrow night in Mason City, it's their second reading. Can they pass on the second reading, Scott? 3. They gotta do it in 3. Okay. Well, that still doesn't give us a whole lot of time. I'd like to see a motion eventually at one of these city council meetings. If you guys could come up with a resolution that would maybe put off this for 60 days, so the citizens can get some input on this. I mean, we have had none. I have never, ever had so many people come up to me in the last week. They're scared to death on this thing. They're actually scared to death, and for some reason, they're scared to come up because maybe their legs shake or something when they speak. Well, and I say, I don't know. You know, I've talked to them, I've done my share, but we need you. We need your leadership right now. We need it. Honest to God, this is a really, really spooky thing, and I feel violated that nobody said a word about it. I mean, the supervisors, you'd think they were one of the partners. You guys are the partners, and you were left out. How much more do you need to be able to trust this again, you know? So I guess that's all I have to say. And I thank you for all the good work. Mayor Crabb, Scott Torrey, everybody that brought this wonderful gift to us. And over at Mason City, you always hear, there was one other thing, and I got just one more thing to say, how we'll never draw another big company. We'll never, it's only going to get this good. That's baloney. We've got all the gifts. We've got the Avenue of the Saints. We've got the airport. Man, I'll tell you what, I would like to see that airport utilized. I would like to see sewer run all the way out there, and I'd like to see Lear jets and every kind of business jet. I'd like to see more hangars, and we can do that. But you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it with a slaughterhouse and everything else that goes along with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hello, I'm James Berge from Kensett, Iowa, which is in Worth County. I just want to state that I'm against this packing plant coming in. I could go on through and say exactly what the other gentlemen have been saying, but I just wanted to come up and let you know that people in Worth County really don't appreciate the idea of a big packing plant coming into Mason City, and hope that the city council here of Clear Lake will stand up for the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Jerry Null. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Prestage Foods of Iowa. I appreciate the opportunity to get to speak here tonight. I appreciate the comments of Mr. Petersen, Mr. Wolfram, and Mr. Berge. Several comments. There is very much speculation about things that we're not going to do and things that we have never said we were going to do, and I just want to set the record straight, particularly here in Clear Lake. We were drawn to this area for a lot of the reasons that these gentlemen spoke about. It's a beautiful area with a high quality of life. We're going to be bringing accountants, salespeople, engineers, and people that we also know to attract to a business that offering a good quality of life is a positive thing. So we look at this area the same way that the folks in the audience do. It's a high quality of life area, and we wouldn't want to do anything to change that. This idea that we would build, in the case I heard tonight, 666 farms in Cerro Gordo County, we have no permits at all in place to build a single farm in Cerro Gordo County, nor do we have a farm in Cerro Gordo County. We think that it would be a poor idea to build a farm in Clear Lake, or the watershed of Clear Lake, or the vicinity of Clear Lake. Not only do we not intend to do it, we would discourage anyone else that's involved with our business to do it as well. So there is a tremendous amount of speculation about what we're going to do. If you read the current press today, there is a surplus of hogs across the country, and there's a surplus of hogs in the Iowa Southern Minnesota market. That has led not to additional hog farms, it has led to the need for shackle space. Shackle space is production space. There's a plant being currently planned in Sioux City, and we would like to plant a plant here, because the reality is that farmers are not getting the optimal price for livestock today because there isn't enough packing capacity to support existing farms. So we're very excited about the possibility of coming here. I would also like to say that we have availed ourselves to North Iowa Today, we've availed ourselves to the Globe Gazette, we've availed ourselves to the Des Moines Register. I'm not aware of anyone in this room that's approached us and we've denied answering their questions. I'm not aware of anyone in this room that's approached us and asked us a question. There's a lot of speculation about what we're supposedly going to do, but that's what it is, speculation. So we appreciate the record, the chance to keep it straight. If the Clear Lake Council would have any other questions of us, we're certainly available. I have a residence in Mason City, and certainly here at any given point in time. So we understand people's concerns, particularly a beautiful lake like this where there's a lot of capital invested, where it's a recreational place. We don't think it's appropriate to have hog farms in the watershed of Clear Lake. We don't think it's appropriate to have them in the city limits or anywhere around the vicinity of the Clear Lake. That won't be a goal of ours. I don't know how to be in any more public a forum and say that than I could right here. So we just wanted to set the record straight there. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Laura Whitney Roberts. We have a cottage at 2407 South Lakeview Court. I'm very nervous. I never speak in public unless I'm selling something. And I'm retired. But what I would like to say is that I am totally against this. I'm against the packing plant in Sioux City as well. What are we doing in the world to this state? There are many senior citizens, myself being one. Why in the world would we want to stay here in a state where our water is going to be compromised, our air is going to be compromised? And I'm sorry, Bob, is he here? Bob? Is that his name? Jerry.
Jerry.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. I would like to know what your plans are. I haven't seen anything in the Des Moines Register or the Globe Gazette or the Mirror Reporter about your plans, where these hogs are going to come from. Are you bringing employees here from North Carolina? How many would be hired here in this area? And where, quite frankly, you're going to get these labor? Is this going to be labor that's going to be part-time, coming from somewhere else? Many, many questions, and I think we all deserve the right to know the answer to our questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome. My name is Darrell Cotenville. I live on North 3rd Street.
Yeah, I think you
And-
ought to stay, sir. I think you ought to stay. Just a minute.
Just a minute. That's enough, right there. You may go. That's fine.
Thank you.
Go on.
Carry on. Sorry.
That's fine. I am totally against this hog processing facility. And the gentleman that's just leaving says there are currently no permits for any hog confinements in this area. I used to be on the Board of Supervisors in Franklin County. It takes nothing to get a permit for a hog confinement, trust me. We can't stop them. So there are going to be more hog confinements. The other things you might want to consider is, what is this all going to cost? You know, if they bring in 2,000 people, and if they're anything like Storm Lake, they're not all going to be white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. You know, you're going to be looking at interpreters for your governmental services. You're going to be looking at additional signage. You're going to be looking at more roads to this outfit. You're going to be looking at a lot of expenses. So I hope you'll consider that in your decision, I guess. And I appreciate, you know, this hearing tonight, or at least hearing this out. We thank you for that.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Excuse me. I apologize for the disruption there earlier, but I think that was a demonstration of disrespect.
Carry on with your speech.
Oh, excuse me. My name is Tom Willett. I'm from rural Saragona County. I'm about halfway between Mason City and Clear Lake, a little bit north. I was born and raised in Mason City, but I've adopted Clear Lake and Ventura as my hometown because I've given up on Mason City. And I apologize for the city government over there for their mistreatment of y'all. And I think that man just demonstrated his arrogance and his disrespect for this community and communities across the area for leaving like that. I have questions for him. I think a lot of people do. I think one of them is, I'd like to know what they actually are going to pay for wages in this plant without doing a bunch of algebra. Because they first came out, it was gonna be 40,000 some plus, then people said average. And then people asked, you're including 6-figure a year management people. Yeah, well, so then they lowered it down, it was gonna be 30 to 33,000 on a 52-hour week average, including overtime. I didn't do really well in math, so I'm kind of confused. Why can't they just come out and say what they're gonna pay? Why do we have to do all this algebra to figure out what they're gonna pay? Secondly, I'd like to see some genuine scientific research that reassures all of us that they're gonna use a lot of water. Now, Mason City says they're not gonna have any problems supplying with water. I'm gonna address that tomorrow night's meeting. I don't know if that means that they have the infrastructure where they believe they're gonna be able to deliver the water, but when I do my research, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I see, there's Google, and there's experts listed on Google that say the Jordan Aquifer that we all get our water from, I imagine Clear Lake does as well, right? We have wells now that you draw your water from the Jordan Aquifer. It's in trouble. Since 1996 to 2016, it's been depleted by 50%. Okay? The experts that I researched, they're concerned that there's going to be enough water for current businesses, and I'm not very good at speaking here. I'm a little nervous myself. I don't know the wording. But for the current businesses to supply them, they're concerned they're going to be able to continue doing that, let alone for expansion. That's almost word for word what they said. So when you bring in an outfit like this, and rural people like myself, if I got to go another 100 foot with my well, who's going to pay for that? Is Prestige going to pay for that? Who do I go? Do I sue Mason City? How do I get my water? And when my property values go down because it stinks so bad and then the flies are so terrible, they eat the ears off my pets, who's going to buy my place so I can escape? My property taxes have gone up, not your fault. I'm just stating that in Cerro Gordo County, I've had an increase in my property taxes every year for the last 5 years. Now, if I can't sell my home, it's not worth as much as what it is. I'm going to lobby them. I'm going to have to get a lawyer or whatever and ask to get my property taxes lowered. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people with a lot better homes than mine that are paying good money for taxes. How are we supposed to escape this mess if it's unlivable anymore? And again, I don't want to be a cheerleader. I love this. I love Clear Lake. It's a world-class fishery. A guy caught a 50-inch muskie the other day. You'd have to go to northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, Canada to do that. I think that y'all have done an awesome job with this lake. I love this town. I love the lake. I love all the shops. I love your Main Street. Like I said, this is my adoptive community now, Clear Lake and Ventura. And I don't want to see that destroyed. And I think this man demonstrated his disrespect for all of us by walking out of here before we're all done. We have questions for him, and he left. And all that disrespect has been shown to all the communities in the area. Like Rockwell, Swelldale, Rockford, all of them are going to be affected by this. They may have to increase their investment in their water supplies and their treatment plants and the DHS, the ELL, I forget, English language. How many extra teachers are we going to have to hire to teach? Sharon Steckman said in Des Moines they have 20 different languages that they deal with. We're going to have quite a few more than we usually do. Does that mean they have to get rid of music, art, phys ed, industrial arts in order to put on these extra teachers? There's going to be stresses on all these different, struggle for the words. You understand what I'm trying to get at? And it affects all these communities, the surrounding communities. It's just not right. And for this guy to walk out of here like that, show us the utter disrespect for all of us. And he said there's enough hogs. I know I'm running out of time. Excuse me. 2 days after they announced this thing, I listen to Iowa Public Radio all the time. The head of the Pork Producers Association, do I have that right, Chris? Yeah. He came on and said that the current slaughterhouses are actually struggling.
Thank you, sir.
They're actually struggling to get their supply of hogs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
impressed I wasn't gonna speak or come up front.
Welcome.
The biggest thing, the hardest thing I'm gonna do right now, I don't think my kids have even ever seen me with my hat off, and they're 23 and 25. So I'm gonna take my hat off out of respect, because I do have a lot of respect for you. Mayor, city councilpersons, city administrator Scott Flory, I really appreciate what you do. I wanna mimic some of the comments that are here tonight. You've done an excellent job at Clear Lake. I've lived in Mesa City all my 65 years, and if it wasn't for Clear Lake, I don't know what Mesa City would do. Seriously. You guys have a great thing going on for the 5 good months we have around here, something every weekend. It's unbelievable, and I thank you for that. And I know you guys all work hard, and you budget your groups to do stuff, and you do an A job, and I think your population might even swell by 2/3 or whatever during the summer. It's amazing. So we're very thankful for that. No, I asked Mr. Null to stick around. I had some questions. He walked right through me. That's not right. Now, here's what I'm going to correct now that he said tonight, and I could go toe-to-toe with him or Mr. Schreck if you'd like to. Stick around. Hey, I've done my research, and when Mr. Weaver does his research, you can bet it's on the money. Now, here's what he said tonight, which should scare all of us. He talked about the beautiful area we live in and the quality of life. Not once, but twice. That ought to scare you. If you ever watch Music Man, Harold Hill, nobody from a packing plant has to tell us that our area is beautiful and we have good quality of life around here. We know that. We all know that. That's the first thing he said that alarmed me. That's why I'm up here to the podium. I wasn't going to come up here. I know how hard it is to sit there. I sat at the table for 12 years in the back of the room for 20. I paid my dues and I know how hard it is. Wow, we haven't got any permits. All this is pure speculation, kind of conjuncture you'd use in a court of law. If he went and got a permit right now, that would be political suicide, Chad. You don't do that. Thanks for shaking your head. You don't go get permits for farm that would really get the ire of everybody up. So of course they're not getting permits. This thing is 2 years away, 2.5 years away. So I appreciate him saying speculation. That's kind of a dangerous word. I wanted to ask him, he says he's a resident of Mason City now. Well, did he move? Did he buy a house, or is he just renting? I've seen that happen too before. So here's what I want to say to you. He also said the biggest thing he said tonight, there's enough hogs. We can get enough hogs. Did we all hear him say that? There's enough hogs around. That's not true. 2 weeks ago, you know what he said? Verbatim. The minutes are there. Go to masoncity.net. You can read it right there. Right now, for the first shift, 10,000 hogs, we have capacity in our own farms, 176 of our contracted farms in the area, for 65% of those hogs. 3 million pigs a year on a first shift. That means they're short 1 million pigs. Now let's compound that with the plant that's going up 170 miles to the west of us. They're going to need 3 million more pigs too. There's 20,200,000 pigs in the state of Iowa, 3 million people. Iowa's ripe for the picking for a new packing plant. 2 new packing plants. So there's going to be more pigs, no ifs, ands, or buts. What he said at that meeting is he's going to pay 38 cents a pound for pigs, contract, when niche farmers like Chris Petersen here are getting 98 cents a pound. Good luck with stealing those pig farmers away from their contracts, especially the niche farmer. No, he'll get 38 cents a pound from the factory farms. But with the shortage of 1 million pigs, he's got to have more CAFOs, more factory farms. No ifs, ands, or buts. Let's don't kid ourselves. That's the dangerous thing here. We don't know what the impact's going to be. This is their first plant. That worries me also, because their first plant means it's experimental. Now, if you listen to him at his meeting 2 weeks ago, you'll hear that he says many, many times, well, we're not sure yet. There's a lot we don't know yet. This is our first time. We have growing pains. We're going to build. This is our first plant. We're going to build. We're going to see. We're going to do. We hope it will. Hope it will work. That's what he said. Let me tell you something. If you really get in deep and read about it, the pig thing, pig meat, I love my bacon. But beef, pig, and poultry have flatlined since the 80s. Chad, you should know that. It's flatlined. This country is not eating more meat of any kind. It's flatlined. If you do your research with them, with a couple articles they've said previously this year, no, they're looking to export is their new industry. They're going to export their product. Now here's what I'm going to leave you with, because I don't want to outstay my welcome. I do not want to suffer and to change my quality of life in Mason City or Clear Lake or North Iowa to feed China. That's what we're gonna do. China is the biggest exporter of pig. Hong Kong eats 50,000 pigs a day. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I won't take up all my time.
Thank you. Welcome.
My name is Karen Ressler, and I just came here tonight basically to listen to what people would be presenting. And the more I've been listening, the more afraid I am of what could possibly happen to this community that I've grown up in and love very much. So I'm hoping that we could get a little extra time, or you would be able to talk to the people that need to be spoken to really make sure that you're protecting our water and our air and our students. Thank you.
And your address, please?
612 North 3rd Street.
Thank you.
I live in my grandma's house, so I've been here a
Okay,
long time.
thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Mary Kay Johnson. I live in Clear Lake at 710 North 10th Street. I've lived there all my life. I was raised there. My mother was raised in the same house where I live. My great-grandparents spent time there. They had a farm right where Central Garden is now. So nobody loves Clear Lake more than I do. I'm a retired teacher. I do some subbing, but mostly I'm retired. Our communities cannot handle, our schools cannot handle the influx of population. It's going to destroy our soil. It's going to destroy our water. It's going to destroy our air. And if you wonder about that, think about, where is all that manure going to go? Where's it going to go? You know? And what about the smell? It's going to be at your door. I promise you that. That's all I got.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak this evening?
Can we do a round two?
No.
Eric Wood.
Thank you. I do have a statement that I would like to make at this point, and just bear with me shortly here. First of all, it is not our intent, this council, or wish to meddle in the political process of another elected body and its constituency. With that said, I'd like to read this particular statement. Over the years, the city of Clear Lake has established a political precedent of opposing large-scale commercial confinement operations within the lake watershed and the critical areas surrounding it. As this potential economic development project, Prestage, evolves, it may come to be that the City Council of Clear Lake would, perhaps in the future, possibly considering to take a position in opposition to such a proposal as being counterintuitive to our community's primary economic engine, tourism, and the preservation and enhancement of our natural environment. Thanks to all of you for your concern in our quality of life. We appreciate that. Thank you. And now